almost 1 year since the party won yet another mandate to govern the people of Zimbabwe. As we approach the first anniversary of the Second Republic, we must intently introspect the degree we have achieved that which we promised our people, as outlined in the People's Manifesto. I challenge the Information and Publicity Department of the party to develop a communication strategy that will highlight our successes since being elected into office in July last year. Our victory in July 2018 was a call to service. Our task remains enormous, but if we remain united, nothing is impossible. I'm aware that our current austerity measures are causing some hardships to our people, but this is necessary for us to have a stable and a growing economy which is in sync with others in the region and elsewhere. If we choose populist policies, we will be doing a disservice to our country. So we must embrace up and endure the hardships, albeit always explaining to our people what we are trying to achieve. As I highlighted in the past, the situation will begin to get better by the end of the year. During the course of the month, I was pleased to hand over an assortment of medical equipment and drugs to the Minister of Health and Child Care, which we purchased from India. We have also since received a large consignment from the UAE, which will also be distributed to hospitals throughout the country. As you will recall, our promise to turn around our country's health delivery system is clearly articulated in the manifesto. Hence, our initiatives must be seen in that context. While our initial focus is on central hospitals, the next phase will equally ensure that the provincial and district health facilities are appropriately equipped and resourced. As a party and government, our priority is a development agenda that leaves no one behind. Thus, during the conference of chairpersons of the rural district councils from across the country, we emphasize that devolution is about modernization and industrialization at that level and tier of government. This must be executed drawing from the human and natural resource elements at world level. The majority of our citizens live in rural areas. As such, we must make more concerted efforts to cascade socio-economic development to them. As a party, socio-economic development, as a party, a large portion of our supporters and members are based at that level. So we must be at the forefront of driving development within their communities. We must continue to win the hearts and minds of the party during all forthcoming by-elections at parliamentary level as well as at council level. I commend the Women's League for successfully holding their National Assembly last week. However, we continue to urge the party organs to ensure that constitutional meetings focus more on planning and review of concrete programs and activities of the party. As announced in that National Assembly meeting of the women, we shall be approaching the Minister of Justice, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs with our proposals for a constitutional amendment to extend the reserved seats for women in Parliament. However, the extension of this period must translate into the Women's League mobilizing new members into their structures and rejuvenating the league. Both the women and the youth leagues must set clear targets and priorities for their programs and ensure diligent implementation. I urge the party to always promote unity at every level. We must, as a leadership, within the various party departments, such as the Chitepo Ideological College, ensure that there is cross-cultural representation of officials and staff. I once again encourage the party leadership to inculcate an open-door policy and interact with people, groups, and associations. The party must be accessible to its people. We must be listening leaders and a listening party. On the international relations front, I will be leaving for a state visit this afternoon. During my visit, I will also, that is to Namibia, be commissioning the Wolves Bay dry port facility, which should assist in the movement of our imports and exports once completed. On allegations of corruption among party members, I have asked each province to recommend a member of the Central Committee from that province to be appointed in the commission to look into the matters. Let us, as the Politburo, continue to disseminate information that keeps our members informed, supportive of our policies, disciplined, focused, and mobilized. I further urge us to deal with all our affairs with a great sense of agency and renewed resolve. We must serve the people and always seek to make their lives better by fulfilling the promises we made in our election manifesto. Let us now turn to our agenda.